And now for the micronutrient end, I want you to be careful. There's some companies, I don't know if it's ignorance or they just don't care, but they're trying to sell to you these micronutrients rolled into specifically granular fertilizers that are in oxide form. And what that means is you're just wasting your money. I don't even know why they put it on the bag. It's the money. When should I fertilize my lawn? How much fertilizer should I use? And what's the best fertilizer to use? Well, hopefully I'm able to address all these questions here today. Let's get it. All right, well, let's start out with cool season grass, right? When we take a look at the cool season grass, we know that its growth potential peaks in 2 different times a year for the most part. You have your spring flush and then you have your fall flush kind of thing. The summer pretty much plateaus out because it's too hot in most regions. Now, if you're somewhere like in Germany, your growth potential actually looks like a warm season zone, but it won't change anything as far as this approach that I'm about to tell you. So what you want to do when you have a cool season lawn is you want to get somewhere between 3 to 4 pounds of nitrogen per day. And I'm starting with nitrogen because you won't see nitrogen on those soil test results because there's not really a great proven method to account for the nitrogen in the soil, which is fine because we have these standardized annotations. Typically warm season can take a little bit more than cool season in a healthy way. But we're aiming to get somewhere between 3 to 4 pounds, right? Preferably 3.5. So what you're going to want to do is look at your growth potential and say, okay, in the spring, I don't want to apply any more than a pound and a half leading up to the summer. During the summer, for July, August, you really shouldn't be applying anything unless you have a way to apply like 1/10 of a pound. That's what you're going to want to use during the summer. And then during the fall, right, when we're coming out of summer, fall, that's where you want the rest of your 2.5 pounds of nitrogen to be. So a program may look like 1/4 pound starting in March, right? When soil temperatures have reached 55 to 60 degrees sustainably, if you've gone out with your pre-emergent already, you can go ahead and start feeding your lawn, right? So March, 1/4 pound, April, 1/4 pound, May, 1/4 pound, June, 1/4 pound, July, let's take it easy. August, let's take it easy. Maybe nothing at all, and it's okay. September, 3/4 of a pound. You get what I'm saying? October, 3/4 of a pound. November, 3/4 of a pound if you're still growing, and then you chill. That's it. That's your healthy way to apply to your lawn throughout the season without any flush growth in the spring and your nutrients being where they need to be exactly when they need to be there. Now, with that being said, if you have potassium and phosphorus on your soil chart, let's say they say you need 2 pounds of potassium and 3 pounds of phosphorus as well, based off your deficiency. You need that per 1,000 square feet for your whole year. Well, I can tell you this, potassium is going to benefit your plant throughout the majority of the season equally, both winter and in the summer. It's an important nutrient. So what I would do was split it evenly throughout my plant. That's what I would do. Your plant's going to be able to better leverage phosphorus during the fall. So I would do like a 30-70 split with your phosphorus. So if you need 3 pounds total, do 1 pound in the spring, 2 pounds in the fall, and split that up evenly with your nitrogen applications. And your plan's done. That's all you got to do. Look at your soil test results, see what you need, put those macronutrients where they need to be, and you're good to go. All right, so now let's kick it off with warm season grass. Warm season growth potential is pretty different. You have your one huge hump for your growth potential peaking out during the summer with the proper cultural practices. Whereas in cool season land, we're fighting against dormancy, okay? Now, usually what you're gonna see around March, April, you should see the lawn starting to green up. Your air temps should be somewhere between 65 and 70 degrees. Consistently, you're well past frost. You've had your pre-emergent down for probably about a month now. This is the window where you can start feeding your lawn. So go out with 1/4 pound if you can in March. Go out with 1/4 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. if you can, in April. Once you have that complete, when you get to May, you should be full green light to go ahead and start smacking it upside the head. May, June, July, I want you to put out a half a pound each month. Boom, boom, boom. When you get to August, pause, take a look. Some self-accountability needs to happen right now. Have you been keeping up with your watering? What does your turf look like right now? Is it fighting dormancy? And another thing worth adding is it okay for you to be applying nitrogen-based fertilizer during these times because you have your blackout zones for areas like Florida and whatnot? If you fit into this category, stop. Take a knee. Take a knee. You can get back after it in a couple months or so, right? But if you're in a position where you're looking good, you're good to continue to fertilize, half a pound again. When I say a half a pound in August, this means that you either are irrigated by in-ground irrigation or you have means and will to keep it irrigated. You need to keep it watered, okay? If you're not going to keep it watered or you know it might get away from you, just go with a quarter pound. September and October, you're going to want to slip back down to a quarter pound anyway, because now you're preparing to go back into dormancy. November probably is going to be your last application because we don't want to feed a whole bunch of winter weeds. Now, that's your nitrogen taken care of for the whole summer, blown out for you. There you go. Now, when we take a look at our potassium and phosphorus, again, with potassium, this is a source that's good for the plant throughout the season. People will say, yeah, you really need it for the summer. You just need it, okay? If it's needed in your soil test, just split up evenly applications, you'll be fine. Now, for phosphorus, you're going to be able to leverage your phosphorus input the most during that May, June, July timeframe. Possibly even August, but May, June, July, that's when your plants are really going to be leveraging that phosphorus because that's when they're throwing out their rhizomes and their stolons the most. They're spreading, they're filling out, they're getting nice and thick and lush, okay? So that's where you want to put the bulk of your phosphorus at there. And then you can sprinkle the rest. So put 70% of your phosphorus in those months, sprinkle out the rest throughout the rest of your plant. And you're good there. Now, one more caveat before we leave warm season grass is if you have centipede grass, forget everything that I just said. If you have centipede grass, go out with one application of, split your applications. You need like a pound and a half of nitrogen, okay? Do a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound in May, do a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound in, let's say September, August, maybe August. Yeah, maybe August, somewhere in that time frame, along with your P and your K. Very little you'll need, I'm sure, if you have centipede grass, and then you're good to go. When it comes to micronutrients, I want to point out something to you, but before we get to that, let's address some type of amendment that you can use. And my number one amendment for sandy soil profiles with low CEC and low organic matter is the Live Earth Soil Conditioner. This product is going to be perfect for you, not only to help speed up you building organic matter in your soil, to help retain a little bit more moisture throughout the season, that we already know. But the interesting thing, there's studies that support applying these types of sources alongside with nitrogen in sandy soil profiles with low CEC, the low ability to hold on to these nutrients for an extended period of time. A product like this will actually extend its look at those products, right? So where you may have been looking at these things flushing out and not being able to use all that nitrogen at minimal rates, when we're talking about just doing the minimal rates, now you get a longer look at those products when you're dealing with sandy profiles like this. Now, if you have like a high OM and clay soil type, you don't need this product. You don't need really any humics, to be completely honest. I mean, they don't hurt, but you don't need them. So this is my number one amendment for you if you're in a circumstance like that. And now for the micronutrient end, I want you to be careful. There's some companies, I don't know if it's ignorance or they just don't care, but they're trying to sell to you these micronutrients rolled into specifically granular fertilizers that are in oxide form. And what that means is that you're just wasting your money. I don't even know why they put it in the bag, because what you need is a chelated source. You need micronutrients that are chelated, which you'll usually find and you're most likely going to find in a liquid form. Simple Lawn Solutions has a really good micronutrient pack Go check them out. Ecologel has a really good micronutrient in the pack. Go check them out, or go to your local landscaping supply store. I'm sure they have chelated micronutrients to include macronutrients that will be readily available to your plant. The trick with these oxide forms, your plant really doesn't have access to it, and by the time it does, it's probably done washed out the soil, it's gone. Okay, and now that we're done with that and you have a good understanding of where your soil plan needs to be as far as how to build it and maintain it, the last thing that I want to go over with you is cultural practices. Some common do's and don'ts that you need to avoid and or make sure that you do in the lawn to have the most successful lawn this year. These are just basic things that you just need to be up on as far as maintaining your lawn. It's going to save you a lot of heartache and pain. All right, that wraps this video up. I'll catch you next time. Peace.